Well, hello folks, welcome along to the channel. I am the Custard Prophet. We're back here with our Tennis Manager 23 playthrough with Crusty Bun, who is really doing well in his development and starting to get to the top level. We've had a little bit of a rocky patch since he got dumped out of the US Open, in all honesty, but he's back and firing at the right time. He's going to be getting into the Promising Player Finals tournament. He's seeded first for that, but he's here at the Marseille Open in France. He's going to be playing Denis Shapovalov of Canada, which is hard, but he's in the top. He's a top 20 player. We're a top 20 player. Actually, the levels should be quite similar, and so it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to lose this. So this is how things have gone since we were last together. I think you saw this disaster in the US Open. We'll see who eventually won that. It was Alexander Zverev who went all the way through to win it. We got knocked out in the first round. A very frustrating match here against Mute, who ended up losing against Kylan Biggin, which is slightly embarrassing. But we could absolutely have got through that. Absolutely, we should have got through that, which is massively frustrating. So then Crusty has been playing in the indoor season. He went out to China. This was a ATP Tour 500 event. Did really well, actually. Got all the way through to the semi-finals here, and then lost to Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime, who eventually won that whole tournament, 6th in the world. It was going to be a tough one to get through, and he didn't really compete. But you look at some of the players he beat: Jiri Leka in the quarterfinals, Daniel Altmaier, that was an easier one in the round of 16. The round of 32, this was a tough old game against Brandon Nakashima, and I think he is an improving player. I think he's definitely getting better. He's 27th now in the ranking, so that's probably represents a decent result. In the next tournament, in the Rolex Masters, he didn't really cover himself in glory, but he got through the first round match against the Spaniard Alexandro Davidovich Fokina, 6-2, 7-5. The round of 32 match against Sebastian Korda, 7-6, 6-3, and then played Carlos Alcaraz, and he didn't do too badly. It was a 2-set loss, but 6-3, 7-6 isn't too bad against Alcaraz. You know, we need to start competing against the likes of this player. Unfortunately, he came up against him straight away in the very next match, and again lost in a relatively close game. The first set going all the way to a tiebreak, and Crusty was in that all the way and took him very close, but a break early in the second set put paid to it. So went out early in Japan, which was frustrating, and then followed that up with a couple of really disappointing tournaments. Top seed here in the Swiss indoor, or fourth seed here, and lost to Arthur Cazot. He would have gone through to play Jack Draper. Absolutely should have been getting through that match against 30th in the world. Lost 6-3, 6-4, just not a good performance. And then followed that up with another pretty dreadful performance in Paris, where he played Sebastian Korda, and this was ridiculously tight. He'd beaten him a couple of times recently, but went to two tiebreaks and lost both of them. So not the best, and he finds himself here in a little bit of a dip in form. I mean, in terms of his ranking, he's still in the top 20, which is great. But you can see here in the Marseille Open, it's an ATP 250 event. He's here in the semi-finals. He's still wanting to win at this level, so I thought we'd come back for this. Got a bye in the first round, and then second round against Argentinian Francesco Cerandola, 6-2, 6-3 victory. Hamad Medjedovic, a player who he has beaten a lot of times in the quarterfinals, 6-3, 6-2. And he's got Shapovalov, who is ranked 19th. Crusty is ranked 18th at the minute. I think that is current. So he's dropped off a little bit from his ranking of 15, but he's absolutely capable, I think, of beating all of these people. That if he's going to win, he has to beat the 19th ranked player and then the 15th ranked player. It's not going to be easy, but he's beaten better quality players than this. Right, folks, let's dive in and let's go and play this game. I think what I'd like to do just before we get into the game is just talk a little bit about what we're planning with the Academy, because you'll notice we've got over £500,000 in the bank account. The reason I haven't purchased any more Academy infrastructure, which is certainly what I'm planning to do, is that we said to Crusty we will give him a £300,000 sign-on fee to extend his contract. He extended his contract, but I haven't seen the sign-on fee come out yet. I'm a little concerned that it's going to come out at the end of the season, and if it does that, I want to have enough money in the bank to be able to afford that and not go under the board expectation of having £100,000 in the bank. So that's why we're not doing anything. As soon as that goes away, we will be buying more Academy infrastructure. And one of the things that I have just done, and we're just waiting for the thing to go over the line, is I got another trainer in. And this trainer is much higher level than we've been able to recruit before, and they are going to be focusing on the physical training, which is an area we're quite weak on in terms of the staff. So that's a thing, and we're also going to be recruiting another player at the end of this season to add to the Academy. So all of that sounds very exciting to me. So I'm very happy. The one interesting thing about this thing is that Crusty's right at the end of the season and he has yet to win a tournament, as far as I can remember. So he has got a goal within his contracts with both Dunlop and Adidas that if he wins a tournament, and it doesn't say where the tournament win comes from, but I think an ATP 250 event will be enough. He will get £100,000 from this one and £37,000 from this one. So it would be nice to get that money in as well. So that for all those reasons, we're going to drive on in. We're playing Denis Shapovalov. He's beaten us twice previously. On clay, on hard. We've never played him on indoors, and we played him last season when, in all honesty, we were not the player we are now. So this is going to be tough, but I genuinely believe we've got a chance here against, I think, a very, very strong player. We're going to push a couple of the serving. I do want no, it's the wide ones. Yeah, we've got the wide serves. We want to be powerful. We want to really be pushing those wide serves as much as we can. And the ones down the line. I think the middle ones, it probably doesn't matter so much. We'll see how he does there. I'm not sure about this really as to what the best thing is. You can see he's a very, very strong player across the board. Mentally, maybe not so strong. Drop shots, killer instinct are his weaknesses, but he's got good forehand accuracies, reflexes, agility. He's going to be all over the court like a wolf. Right, so he's concerned. You may have already lost against him. You will not let this happen again. Okay, that's a confidence boost. Reacted positively. So it's not quite what I wanted, but we can still look to boost his morale as we go. I know we rarely actually manage to do that, but let's see what happens. Come on, Crusty. Let's get a win over Shapovalov. First things first, we got a lot of points against him on his game, but he has got a break which we've saved on our service game. So it's one love. Come on, Crusty, save this. It's concerning, yeah. We are getting points on his serve, but we're struggling a little bit to make the most of the points on our serve. And it's another break opportunity at 2-1 here from Shapovalov. And Crusty goes wide. I've seen those given. We are struggling here. We are getting points on our serve, but not enough. And I feel something needs to change here into the tactics on our serve. Let's just have a quick look at the statistics. Is there anything we can get in here? We had one ace. We saw that. We're only getting around 58% of our first serves in, and that feels very unlike us. So I think we are perhaps being a little too aggressive. on some of these serves. I'm going to keep the wide ones out just because I think that's where we get the most of them, and we'll take those back down. Okay, so we've just tried to change that up a little bit because I think that might be hurting us, because sometimes he gets a high percentage in when you've got those on high and high risk, but sometimes he doesn't, and I think you've almost got to play with that depending on how things are going on the day. Well, another break opportunity. I don't want to lose this 5-1 or 6-1, 6 love or something stupid. It certainly feels like Shapovalov is... I think we need to do something on his serve as well. Coming into the net, he puts it. Just can't get over the line here, folks. Lovely ace. Not even getting an advantage every single time it's on the juice court. He wins it. Crusty's coming in, and he's gone into the net, and we have come all the way through in the next game, and we've got an opportunity here. He's going to put this one away, surely. And is it because he's coming into the net, which is the problem? And it's 5-3. It's a much better, actually. Much better in the second half of the set. So I think we've sorted things out to some degree with our serve as he puts it into the net. But he is serving for the set here. It feels like we might have a hope. We've had one break on his serve. He's had a lot of break opportunities on our serve. Well, he's put that one into the net, so who knows? Another opportunity for him here. Another one into the net. That's a big second serve. That really is. Into the net again. And Crusty, out of nowhere, has pulled himself an advantage here. Whoa, the second serve is so powerful. That's a shame. He got his chance there. And that was a really nice one. Just calm volley back in. So I wonder whether the problem is that he is getting a lot of net points. Yeah, 16 out of 21. So he's coming into the net a lot. He's winning 76% of those points. 28 winners, 16 forehand winners, 12 backhand winners, 21 unforced errors. So he's making a lot of mistakes. But ideally, we need to keep him further back. Do we go for the approach the net? I don't know. Push back the opponent. I think that's probably what we do in the defensive. I'm always a bit concerned with going deep. We're going to go mixed on the backhand because I feel centre just opens up the chance for him. I think we're going to try and hit harder forehands at him and see whether that can just keep him at the back of the court. Well, it's 2-2, and Shapovalov has got a break opportunity. Crusty again. It seemed harder for him on his serve, and that's a lovely shot. That's a lovely little drop shot. Completely played Crusty. That was very nicely done. And in all honesty, he's just been better than us. We've tried our very, very best to adapt our game to this style of play he's got, and we've just found it very, very difficult. And we are looking like, there's no way we've got this. We're going to stay in this. We might win this one, perhaps. We've done this a few times, but I think even this is probably asking a lot of Crusty from 15-40 down. But Shapovalov, it's wide, going for the shots, but I think we are keeping him further back. It's gone long, and we're back to deuce, which is really, really impressive. And we're here at a 30-40 or 30-15 down. So we won that game. And I think what we're going to go for on his serve, we just got to do everything, hasn't it? We're going to go high powered backhand, more risk. much more risk, and we're just on these last couple of points and just see whether we can come up with something. He's gone long there, and it is 40-15 for Shapovalov. He is just seconds away from getting into the final. I've not seen too much evidence of this more risk that we asked Crusty to play in these last few points, but there we go. Shapovalov wins through, and again we fall at the semi-final stage in these tournaments. I think we've got through to the final in a couple of them, but just seem to not quite have enough to get through to the semi-finals. But I think maybe the improvements around was a good player there, Ella McDonald. She might be a really good one to bring in. You look at the potential there and the level she's at already. I wonder whether there's a possible. Let's have a quick look at this. She's at the Loughborough Students Tennis Academy. Not interested. Typical. I also wanted to highlight how Billy Blades is doing while we've got a bit of time. Look at the improvements that Billy Blades has been making. He is 73rd now, so he's a top 100 player. He has won at the MTL 125 level, I think, which is that one. He's won a challenger at the 50 level, so he's really doing well, which I'm so pleased about. And you know, he's not the best in terms of his attributes. There's still a lot of work to go there, but from my point of view, we've got now another player who is going to be pushing for the Davis Cup at the end of the season. And the UK have qualified, or Great Britain have qualified for the Davis Cup, so that's really exciting, and we'll see how that goes. I mean, the potential is that Billy Blades and Crusty could both be playing in matches, which would be amazing if we could have that. Ideally, imagine if we could get all 5 places covered by our academy. I mean, that's a long-term goal. So we'll come back for actually the very next tournament, the promising finals. We're going to see if Crusty can win through that. He's the top seed in there. I'm not sure if we've got a draw yet, but we should be able to see the players who have qualified. Oh, we do have a draw. So Crusty here will be playing a lot of these players. We've got Martin Landalucia, who's in there. We've got Bugard, who we used to play, Bigan, Sina, Ungunu. It's basically just like a tournament of all of the players that we were playing in the juniors. I think the only sort of slightly random guy is this Theo Papalanamis, who I think is a slightly older player than the rest of them. So really excited to show you this. I think this could be a lot of fun against some of our old adversaries on the junior tour. There's £150,000 at stake, so that's going to be good. And once we've kind of gone through that, we'll see how things go, and I'll probably do some big changes at the end of the season with all the money we've got in the bank. So we just want to make sure we've got that £100,000 buffer that the academy want, and that means we've got £450,000 to spend. We want to bring in a player, we want to bring in more staff. That's part of what we're going to be doing, but we also want to improve the academy, and we have all of the academy infrastructures that we've put in have now been completed. So we've got now the weight room at the highest level, the video and tactics room at the highest level. This has increased the number of training opportunities that are available. I think there was another thing in here that I can't remember where it was that we improved. It might be in the psychology department that we'd upped recently as well. So I think this is an area that we do need to improve on, and we know we've got lots of money coming in, and we know that Crusty brings lots of money in the academy. Billy Blades is probably going to do that. So actually upgrading some of these things to get the bonuses that you get from having the best possible courts. It's whether we kind of focus on maybe one area or not. I mean, you look at this. you just get a 1% bonus for this. I just don't. So overall, a 4% bonus, does that equate to something that's worthwhile? It's hard to say. Anyway, folks, that is that. I hope you have enjoyed the episode. Didn't quite get there this time round, but Crusty, as you can see, he's progressing nicely. Still a top 20 player, and he's going to get lots of points and cash for that. I don't think he's going to have gone up. We'll just move forward to the final and we'll just see if that's affected his ranking at all. So I've just signed the Morgan Jamaquat, who you can see physical training and mental really good, so that's going to boost what we are able to offer. Yeah, it didn't actually count because it was a semi-final, so if we got to the final that would have made a difference, but the semi-final doesn't make a difference. So there was a couple of the real big things that did make a difference was not actually getting anywhere in these two tournaments. So yeah, we need to work on some of these things. We need to kind of improve how we've done in some of these tournaments, as well as improving. For example, the Australian Open's coming up, and that's a reasonable amount of points to defend. So we're not quite where we want to be at the minute, but we are improving. We were up to 15th as our highest ranking. We were there for quite some time, but we've dropped off at the end of the year. Maybe we can pick up at the start of next year. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. See you next time. Goodbye.